we don't put this in the video.
Thank you so much for coming back for episode 2 of the Pikes Peak coverage. Just a quick recap. Greg is here with a brand new car this year, and the goal is to break the diesel record. So this video will take you through testing and race week all the way to race day, where everything finally comes together. So the first episode ended with day 3 of our first weekend of testing. Day 3 ended early with an oil leak and safety concerns.
We had this dripping oil around the turbocharger.
The exhaust piping gets extremely hot, so you don't want anything dripping back there. So you think there might have been oil leaking out of the head gasket?
Yeah.
Yeah, this little piece of plastic came out. And those are the O-ring of the injectors.
After that quick run, Greg inspects for oil leaks and details the engine so that any leaks in the future will be more obvious, and we're less likely to attribute any smoke to the initial incident. So our next opportunity to run the car is 2 days later at PPIR. I definitely recommend having a racetrack to yourself. So if you watch the footage of Greg's first and only run on Sunday morning, he's looking back here because this is where he was seeing smoke come from. So I mean, this is getting up to 1,000 degrees Celsius, and with an oil leak, just any drop on that could combust. So that's why I put this camera here, because today we're trying to make sure that there's no more oil leaks. So if we see smoke here, bad sign. Or rather, if we don't see smoke, good sign.
So before, when I would stop or end my run, I would see just a bunch of smoke to come out, and it would worry me about just catching in fire. But now, after replacing all the head cover gaskets, injector seals, this is pretty dry.
I was watching the runs and it was bouncing, but in my mind that made me think it was too stiff, but you think it's too soft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm riding on springs instead of suspension.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He stopped and he's getting underneath the car. So it turns out that the CV axle popped out on the rear.
I know that shaft is too short. The shaft company sent me a longer one. We discussed about is it risky to keep this going. It was like, you should probably replace it to the longer one. It's called progress.
Yay! You see that? There's a little pipe. You see that tiny little pipe? It does the same thing for the pipe under there.
Yeah.
So when you go super fast, it will just blow up air.
No, for sure. Yeah.
What's the... You said dinosaur.
No, the tube.
Oh, I thought you were saying there was a dinosaur.
This tube. Yeah, and it makes it, it looks like a choo-choo train.
Yeah. Our next testing opportunity will be at Pueblo before tech inspection. In the meantime, Greg replaced the CV axle with a new part from the drive shaft shop, 300M material.
cream of the cream, unbreakable.
Zach added fiberglass to the rear clip, separating Greg from the engine compartment for safety reasons to pass tech, then painted it all black to match.
Talking about the
Oh my god. We need the one. The one is in the very back.
like that. Is it from? Yeah, it's all we need to do. What we need to do is be reliable because we got fast. We got fast. We don't want to brake. If we brake, screwed. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
So setting up the cable here is Chad. He's part of Greg's crew for Race Week, and he works with diesel engines as a calibration engineer at Caterpillar. So he'll be adjusting turbo boost and fuel mapping, things like that.
Are you using your phone as a dashboard?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want any data when I do the run because it's kind of bullshit. You send it no matter what.
Our diesel competition was testing at Pueblo at the same time as us.
I'm running the track right now. When you come through the pitch, you need to make sure you bring the speed down, idling through the pitch. Do you copy? Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's my track right now.
Oh, okay.
You understand that? All right, take it easy through the pits, okay?
Hey, Greg, we gotta take this off real quick.
Yeah, y'all gotta go handle this. When you come through the pitch, bring the speed down or I'll throw you out. It's real simple, okay?
I was in first.
Do what?
I was in first gear.
No, that's okay. You need to bring the speed down. I don't care what gear you're in. 7th gear, 1st gear, negative gear.
Okay.
Just bring the speed down and everything's cool. Thank you.
So it's your track, you said?
It's my track. Yes, sir.
So when can I run?
You can continue running. You just need to be aware of the rest of the people up here. Take it easy. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Oh, the car revs like so good.
Is it?
Yeah.
It looked like it was going good.
The vent
Transmission.
a little more.
Peel the stickers off.
Nah, leave them on, man. We're gonna burn them.
Gonna burn them?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright.
I like to leave with my stickers on.
Stickers back on.
So here we just swapped out the slicks for rain tires, and here Chad is checking the pressures and recording them on the tire with a paint marker. 19 psi up front and 20 in the rear.
And I like to make a little puddle because this tire, and I use that puddle to keep it wet, real wet, so you can see it. It's strong. Let's add on the list to resolve that.
Yep, I'll do it.
That little.
Yes. I was trying to be all nice on this car when I was putting it on. And Greg comes along, just like punches it. I'm like, oh, gotta be a little rough with it.
I didn't mean to kick that, accidentally did.
j'ai broke down on the side of the track. I cannot ask Zach if the dog's situation. So sorry. Let's see what the LMP can do. Pretty slow, I think. Oof! Ooh! It went out of the track. It went out of the track pretty bad over there. There's a lot of clouds. Oh. He's lucky it's not the cliff.
So you can see here from the drone footage, Greg is gesturing to me through the drone because I'm flying FPV. He's telling me the crew should come tow him out.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really get it. I just kept filming some other cars and the track officials towed him out. Sorry, Greg.
Always winning, always winning. Oh, huh?
You were signaling to me. But,
Oh, to call the driver to pick me up.
oh, no.
I guess. Don't leave me over there. Why it took so long? I don't know. It's all good. Yeah, nobody knew. But yeah, CV blue over there. It's the proper size.
It's the proper size.
That's why I'm not liking this too much.
Yep.
Maybe the operating angle is not ideal.
Yep, now I feel it.
No, but the thing is completely falling around, yeah. And I guess I got power too. The second thing is ripping. Way more power than the other rig. I see the other rig rip. When you accelerate in the LMP.
Before leaving for tech, we dropped by the pit where Batim and the BBI team were prepping the Porsche for Ken. This car ended up having major engine issues that could not be resolved, and they didn't compete. But I can imagine how hard that team was working and how little they were sleeping, just like us. Next, we headed over to tech inspection.
Oh, man, I'll have to show you the trick that Larkin showed me last year.
I am responsible for the crew.
Greg gets interviewed, the car is inspected and weighed, and we get a batch of safety stickers.
Bro, these are some like cut car axles.
Cool.
Yeah. We're starting off fresh shaft, German boots.
After passing tech, it was time to fix our axle issues from PPIR, which involved replacing some parts made from low-quality metals with higher spec German stuff.
The bolts went through the hole, and instead of holding that flange came out. And when the flange comes out, the balls that are into the CV were able to just go past the edge of the CV and just like ruin the edge. That's why it kept coming loose. Or German, you know, people that do German, you know, sometimes they're right.
You can really see it here where Greg can't bend the German part, but the axle we had on made from cheaper material bends easily. Just not for Chad.
Greg's a lot stronger than I am.
This here, I guess we can clean this a little better.
New shit here?
We gotta clean it, spray some this. I went to Patagonia and back with this spare part in my fucking vein. This did the whole trip. It was my spare. So let's clean it up. It's full of dust, sand from Baja dunes and stuff. And we're gonna press it in.
You got some... She has it. This?
Yeah. And watch out to not walk on the calipers.
Yeah.
Very fragile tools and very expensive also. Matutoyo, Japanese, made in Mexico.
Made in Japan.
No way.
With the axle repaired, we're ready for day 1 of our final weekend to test.
Daddy, look.
Oh, that's cool.
But two.
So, second weekend of testing here at Pikes Peak. I just climbed up like 100 feet, whatever, just a little bit above this pit area. This is the pit for the top section where we're testing today. So we're at 13,000 feet or so. It's just awesome up here, right? Like, how do you describe it? Greg asked me last night to remind him to take it easy up here because tomorrow morning is qualifying.
I guess that was some issues when he went by.
Kaufman got 221 on the first section. He's not done yet. We got 155.
What about
Scott?
209?
Where's he at? 209.
Oh, nice.
We're better. 253. We're better. He got 502 total. We got 422 total. We're 10 seconds behind the Tesla. Those are German. It's a 992.
That's
Tesla
awesome.
plaid, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. Randy Pope's driving.
Yeah.
Robinson, king of the hill for me. Do your first one on the original. That's the original. Now we're going to inject the spices. I put the original that I had on my testing yesterday. Okay. But now I'm going to inject the one we made. Extra juicy.
You're not running the one that we put in there yesterday?
I have a qualifying time that's solid.
Yeah.
And now, if it's better, we'll see. Let's try this change. You feel good about it?
The one we did yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to increase the cylinder pressure.
Yeah, a little bit. You got room.
Yeah.
We knew something was up before the safety crew left because it was taking too long for Greg's first sector time to show up on the screen.
Out. Too fast.
Well, we did go out. She's out.
Car's off the road, driver's left.
Come on over, man. We got the doctor with us. He's just going to ask you a few questions. Are you okay?
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
It was super awesome.
We're going to leave car 20 in the ditch until after race. We're going to take the driver back to start with.
Out of a turn, the rear just fucking like on the rear axle. So much power. They did this and then jump, ditch, tree.
Seriously?
Damage. Yeah.
Is the car okay?
We'll see. I don't know. Fuck, it's fucked up. Yeah.
The crash had broken part of the rear suspension, damaged the transmission oil pan, put a crack in the transmission case itself, and damaged the front bodywork. So all in a day's work, really, but not for me. Thank you to John from Eurobus and to Marcus, who along with Chad, Zach, and myself made up the whole race crew. They filmed in my absence while the car went under surgery before race day. So the crew, sans myself, headed to Porsche Colorado Springs, who does a lot of support for Pikes Peak, for an alignment, and they replaced the oil pan while they were at it.
All right, this is how we sneak our beer across to get to how we get from Porsche to Walmart. We needed beer from Walmart, so we had to go through. And that's it.
Then back at the shop, Zach modified Greg's arm restraints a bit.
It'll sew right through your little fingers.
While Greg changed the transmission fluid. June 23, our second to last day of testing, and we're on the middle section. We borrowed camber plates from another team, and we were still trying to dial in our alignment. The car was all over the place for Greg today. He said whenever he got on it in a straight line, it just went back and forth all over the place.
And the awesome power is awesome. The new power is awesome. With the 1, 2, 3 low power. The third I want to reduce it even more because I still do something. The fourth, fifth is good, but I can't explode it because of the...
The crash had thrown off the handling of the car, which killed Greg's confidence to send it on race day. June 24, back at the top section, final day of testing. Final day to dial it all in and restore Greg's confidence in the car before a race day this Sunday, the 26th.
Oh, I see the crack. Here. It's the one I saw before. It's bigger. It's cracked.
So after testing, we headed over to Revolution's Performance to work on the car. At the shop, we swapped and balanced our backup slicks on new rims.
Hey, Bob. Hey, guys.
Fabricated and welded an additional support onto the transmission and got another alignment. There was a crack in the chassis, and Greg welded that too. Then we got a chance to head back to the parking lot at PPIR to see if we fixed anything.
You want to know if the fronts and the rears are locking up. Left hand is front, right hand is rear.
Oh.
I'm probably gonna miss it.
Oh, he's saying the rear?
Yeah.
Oh. No, it's the front.
Left hand is front.
Left is front.
Front.
Front is the front.
Front.
10 packs of Perrier.
Perrier
Talladega
before,
Nights.
champagne after.
We got Perrier. All of the crew Perrier.
So Saturday the 25th, this afternoon we need to trailer the car to the start line and set up our pit. Then we camp at the start to avoid the traffic on race day. Once we put the car in the trailer and head to the start, that's really it for changes. So the last minute adjustments, including securing the front brake cooling ducts with some bungees, spot welding suspension components, bleaching the brakes. Here's Chad. Here's Chad doing some sort of fuel analysis of the diesel from his Vanagon. I can't explain more, but diesel is a whole other world. I don't know where he got all the mason jars. This is like the R/diesel version of Chef's Table or Sean Brock's Pantry. Also, like, what color is diesel actually? Why is there all that black stuff? So heading up to camp before race day, check out the crew with the Sprinter tow rig and the 2 Vanagons. I love it. Super high energy right now.
Perpetual.
Once we had the car covered in the pits and dropped off the trailer down the road, we made camp in the woods behind the parking lot. I haven't seen people level out their rigs for camping like this. Pretty cool. And I'm sleeping in there also, so I appreciate it.
Burn every Sprinter to the ground.
That works. That's even better.
That
didn't make any sense.
This is.
In the pits that night, it rained, and all the cars sat waiting under tents and tarps with that very quiet energy of cars that are off and sitting still. And after months of the build, testing and wrenching, I sort of couldn't believe we were here.
It's a lot of work. I mean, it was, well, I knew from the beginning, people told me, just go with the bug, so you don't have to build the whole car. And I forgot what it was.
At this point, we knew the times the other cars were getting, and before Greg ever set off, we knew the diesel record was not possible in these conditions. Greg set a 12:33.647, way faster than our diesel competition, which in these conditions is the best we could hope for. Now for the rest of race day, we hang out at the bottom and Greg is at the summit. All the cars will come down together after everyone has run. But the attention pivoted to the diesel GTR, the wild card that could still beat us out for fastest diesel. They had gone through tons of issues and were down to the wire to get their run in on race day. But the GTR set a fast first sector time, but then he had to stop for a mechanical failure. So that's it. No records today, but fastest diesel on the mountain.
You got a tripod? You should come in. She said next year maybe. She said that.
Okay, good.
She liked to say this to make me feel good.
Yeah. Did it work?
What?
Did it make you feel good?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they move it to August, so we don't have to
deal with this.
Yeah. But I'm super happy. It was so much fun. The car was amazing, and the weather is nothing you can do. So. At least it was a full run. I was able to put my time and compare to the other, to show that it rips.